going on, 49er faithful, 49er fan, 49er gang? This is your boy Niner Game Podcast back in the building. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notifications so I can keep you up to date on any and everything NFL and any and everything San Francisco 49ers. With that being said, let's get right on into it, man. We have a short week. We played on Sunday, took a L to the Jags. Unfortunately, we gave up a 100-yard rusher. Travis Etienne ran all over us, so it tells me that our run defense is still a little bit of an issue. Hey, what's going on, B-Dubs? If you want, just say something in the comments. I'll shoot you the link. But basically, long story short, we took that L to the Jags. It was not one of the best games. Brock Purdy didn't look the greatest. A lot of high-thrown footballs. And just looks like something's still not right with that toe. And you can tell because when you're a quarterback, your mechanics matter a lot. And if you're not able to plant right and do things a certain way, the ball is going to come out incorrectly consistently. One interception was his fault. The defender was pretty much right there. He saw him. He still tried to throw the ball in there. And then on top of that, he decided that the other interception was just basically he threw it a little high, it tipped around and went into the arms of the defender. We just got to make sure Brock doesn't come out this game and try to play hero ball, and that he understands what he can do. Yeah, he's still hurt. He's definitely still hurt. I don't think that was the case. Yeah, sorry, man. When y'all went, I was working. But yeah, he's definitely still hurt. I don't think that that's outside the realm of possibility. Of course, this was another game where we ran CMC into the ground. The man's just getting one too many touches. And it's just because of all the injuries that we have. And now I don't know if Ricky Pearsall is going to even play in this game tomorrow night. We got to hope and pray that he can, but he may not. I don't know. That's the rough part when it comes down to it, man. It sucks. It really does suck because you always want to make sure that at a bare minimum you have your best players on the field. And right now we're hurt. JJ's running around playing with injuries like nobody's business, probably getting cortisone shots. You see him with all the tape everywhere. Just got Demarcus Robinson back, so I expect him to be fed. I expect him to be a very big focal point of the pass game because we're pretty much down to Demarcus Robinson and Juwan Jennings. I don't know when Jordan Watkins will be back. There is no word on when BA will be back. So we're going to have to go into this game and hope and pray that, Jennings, Tajes, Demarcus Robinson, Luke Farrell, and we got to hope that these dudes can hold it down for us because those are going to be your main targets in this game. And I know that sounds very daunting going up against a Rams team who is hot right now, man. They are making moves. They are doing things they need to do. Rams look pretty good right now as far as, how they're looking this season. I mean, we're still atop the NFC West because we beat NFC teams, and the loss that we took was an AFC loss, so that doesn't really hurt us. Technically speaking, we are 3-1 along with the Rams. They basically had won every game until they played the Eagles, and then they won a nice little thriller against the Colts last week. So when you take a look at the Rams and you see what's going on, Matthew Stafford doesn't look like that back is bothering him at all. He's already up over 1,000 yards passing for the season. He's got 8 TDs. He only has 2 interceptions. He's been sacked 8 times, so that's, over the course of 4 games, you get sacked 8 times, that's 2 times a game. So, we should be able to get in that backfield, hopefully, but without Nick Bosa, it's going to be really hard to create a lot of pressure. And we have, the minute Nick Bosa went down, our pressure rate just dropped. We had a couple from, a few different people, but it just wasn't enough, and we never fully finished. And then we take a look at their rushing right now. Of course, Kyron Williams, the guy that Fred Warner said is one of the hardest people to tackle. Currently right now, he's got 303 yards, averaging 4.5 yards a carry. He's only got 1 TD on the year, so that's a good thing. 1 TD through 4 games. That means, at least somebody's keeping him out the end zone. But the 4.5 yard per carry average is crazy. He did have a fumble and he did lose it, so that bodes well for us when it comes down to it. They don't really have another really good running back. I mean, they have Blake Corum. He's averaging 5.2 yards a carry on 120 yards as far as that's concerned. So we got to watch out for both, but mainly it's going to be Kyron Williams. We know that as far as the rushing game goes and what our defense has to deal with. And, of course, we already know with the receiving it's going to be a rough go because you got to go against Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, and Devontae Adams, and Tyler Higbee. So they have 4 different dudes they can go to. as far as receiving goes and what they do. Rick Diaz, what's going on, buddy? How you doing, man? I appreciate you dropping in from Chicago, man. Hope everything is cool. Um, yeah, no one likes the Rams, man. It's gonna be a rough game. But you got Puka Nacua out here. The man's already at 500 yards on the season receiving, 500 yards, one TD, and then Devontae Adams, 269 yards, three TDs. Tutu Atwell only 92 yards, but he has a touchdown. So his three main receivers all have at least one TD, which is a good thing for him. Some random tight end named Davis Allen has two touchdowns. So we might want to keep an eye out when we see that dude on the field, since he's real sneaky. He doesn't have many targets, but hey, two touchdowns in a four game span. Yeah, we got to keep an eye on a dude like that. He's a random dude that we might forget about that might sneakily get past us and get us. But we're obviously going to be focused on the main four as far as the receiving core is concerned. Going to be hard to shut down Puka and Devontae. Both of them are really, really good receivers. I respect both of them. Believe me, I think we all wish we could go to the game, man. I'm in Arizona, so I can't go to that game. That game is down there, so I think we're at SoFi, if I'm not mistaken. So, or Levi South, as we used to call it. We haven't been able to call it that in more recent times because Rams have been beating us, but we'll see what happens. So when it comes to their defense, of course, we've got their leading sack guy, Byron Young, that linebacker. I think that's zero. I actually love this guy. I think he is one of the best linebackers in football, and I think he doesn't get talked about enough. And I know it's kind of sad when you hear a Niner fan glowing over another player, but this dude is insane. He's been great since he came into the league, and he is leading them right now with 5 freaking sacks. So 5 sacks, that means he's averaging at least a sack a game. So you know that. Jared Verse, another dude, 2 sacks. They got a safety, Jalen McCullough. He's got 2 sacks. They got 14 in total. But most of them are coming from Byron Young, and that's the dude we're going to have to key in on. We must stop him. We got to double him up. We got to chip him. We got to know where he is on the field at all times. If I'm Brock Purdy and I'm able to play and I'm watching film, Byron Young is the dude I'm looking for. I need to know where zero is at every point because that dude is a game wrecker. He is a menace. And then when you go ahead and you take a look at the safeties, they got a guy named Quentin Lake. He's got 5 passes defense, which is not a bad thing. There's other safety, Cam Curl. He has 2 interceptions, so that's definitely a beautiful thing. Kobe Durant, their DB, has 1 interception. So you can see that right there. They got 20 TFLs, so they live in the backfield, 19 passes defense. So that means they stay in games and they keep things going. You know what I mean? And the Rams aren't out here getting the break speed off of them. They barely lost that game against the Eagles. It just was like a chance moment where I believe the punt was blocked. The big man with football ran down the field. They scored. Like that was a freak situation. They pretty much had that game in hand. They were bottling up the Eagles. And as of right now, the Madden curse hasn't hit Saquon on an injury front. But if you can see, his numbers are crap. He's going to have I always say with the Madden curse, it's very simple. You're going to get 1 or 2 things: injury-prone season, or you're going to have a bad season. Like you're not going to have the numbers you normally have. And as you're seeing right now, if you look at Saquon, he don't have numbers. But with our game, we're going to have to be very mindful. We need to know where those dudes are at all time. I'm not really worried about their DBs to an extent. They got a nice little formidable front, but for the most part, when you're looking at the tackling, everything comes from that second front. It's not a lot coming in from the defensive line. So I'm not too worried about the defensive line. They do have a couple of dudes. Of course, Puna Ford is a game record. You just got to be really careful with that guy because he can shut you down. And believe me, he'll be trying to punk Connor Colby and Jake Brendel all day. I don't think he's going to want no smoke with Pony or probably even anywhere near Trent Williams. But we just have to hope that we can keep Puna Ford, keep him in line. They got Tyler Davis and Kobe Turner. Their defense is very solid. I am not going to take anything away from the Rams defense. They look really good. So they've been doing some things very, very well. When you take a look at the Rams and you just look at their wins just in general, first game, they only won that game by 6 points. Next game, they win that game pretty convincingly. They won that game by 14 points. So that was pretty good. They lost that game against the Eagles just by 5 points. And then of course they beat the Colts by 7. So a couple of close games, nothing too crazy. They're not blowing folks out. The Titans were the only team that they did. The Titans, unfortunately, are just the team in the league that's just getting beat up. It's just ugly right now, and I feel for the Titans because there's not much they can do. It's just going to be a little rough when it comes down to it. So they got us this week, and then we are in SoFi. It'll be on Prime Video. If you have the NFL app and you want to watch, you'll be able to watch it on that. If you have like NFL Plus, you can watch it on that as long as you pay for that, because they will show the Thursday night games on the NFL app. You're not going to probably catch it on like TV. So if anything, you may have to just watch it on the computer, what's going on TV, but you can do that. Now for us, here's the thing. On the flip side, when you go ahead and you take a look at us as a team and what we are producing, it's a little rough. We have so many injuries and they keep coming. It is really, really rough, man. It's very hard for us to be able to keep doing what we're doing. I mean, heck, our wins, first game we won versus the Seahawks, it was by 4 points, versus Saints 5 points, versus the Cardinals 1 point. The L we took to the Jags was by 5 points, and that L wouldn't have happened if we didn't allow the special teams touchdown, and that would be the situation. But it's going to be a rough go. It's a divisional game, so that gives us a little bit of an edge because we know our opponent. We know what they do. We know how they move. The only difference is it's Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams versus Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. Who, by the way, is barely getting used in Seattle. I don't even know why they went and signed him, because they just throw the ball to Jackson Smith-Njigba. I don't even know why Puka Nacua is even there. I mean, not Puka Nacua. Cooper Kupp's even there. They barely showing that man some love. They got to throw him the ball. He's still a dynamic receiver, and he can still do things. So when you come to us, Brock Purdy had just come back this past game. He did have over 300 yards passing, but he did have 2 TDs and 2 interceptions, as I spoke about. Of course, we know CMC, he's just doing his thing, man. Christian McCaffrey right now has 69 carries, and he has 43 targets as a receiver. That means that man is already at 122 targets on the season between rushing and receiving. And we're only 4 games in. That is insanity. So you got to think about it, man. That is rough for a dude to have that kind of stuff, man. It's just, oh my goodness. Like, I didn't want to run him into the ground, and I know that unfortunately he is the focal point. I know what he can do. I know how dynamic he is, but I don't want to run him into the ground. I don't want to overutilize him, because while he can make people miss him, while he's doing great things, while every week fantasy owners are happy because he's got the scrimmage yards and he usually gets at least 1 touchdown. This is a lot to put on one person. And you got to protect him from himself. So hopefully they don't overutilize him this game. I don't believe we're going to get Kittle back. I don't believe Kittle comes back until next week. I think that hamstring is probably just very, very tight, and he's still loosening it up. Hopefully the hydration and whatever treatments they're giving him works out well. But I do believe that we'll get him back after, because this is going to be like a mini bye week. So basically, we're going to play Thursday, and then we have it all off, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then we don't come back until we wrap around to that following week. So that's nice. That'll give everybody a little extra break. Hopefully, we get some guys back, and maybe that will give us the opportunity at that time when we have to go out and play our next opponent, who after the Rams, we play the Bucks, and we will need all weapons on deck when we play the Bucks. It's going to be rough if we don't have our weapons. So, we should be okay. But Brock Purdy right now, 586 yards, 4 TDs, 4 interceptions, 2 sacks. That's just very bad numbers. But we got to hope that can improve. You know what I mean? Other than that, we're kind of stuck there because, to be honest with you, if Brock doesn't keep playing well, they're going to try to put in Mac Jones because he's actually the healthy one. Last week, I don't think he was going to be able to see the field just because he was injured when he left that last game. Like, he was hobbling off. think he had a hip issue, but he finished it out. He toughed it out. I got a lot of respect for that guy. But then when you come to the receiving, of course, Ricky Pearsall is leading the way with 327 yards. Our next leading receiver is 305 yards. It's Christian McCaffrey. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot for him to be trying to, rush the ball and do that and do this. And 69 carries to 22 for Brian Robinson Jr. is stupid. If Brian Robinson Jr. is having a hard time grasping the playbook, get a man simple concepts. Work him in and work his knowledge of the playbook into him as well. Be smart about it. Hey, this guy's not really picking it up. We're going to give him simple stuff. I formation up the gut. You know what I'm saying? Halfback toss. Like, give him simple things to be able to do where he could just go ahead and showcase his skills. Because at this point, why did we trade for a dude if we're just going to have him sitting on the bench as a number 2 back and never use him? We need to be able to make sure CMC doesn't get overutilized. If we somehow sneak into the playoffs this year, we want to have CMC fully healthy and ready to go. We don't want to have him worn out, tired, beat down. So kind of is what it is on that. But right after that, Jauan Jennings 125, Jay Tonjes 125. Of course, Kittle falls way down the list because he only played 2 games. So it's a little rough when it comes down to it. No, I'm sorry, not 2 games. He played 1. So we're just doing what we can. CMC and Jake Tonjes both had 2 touchdowns. Jennings, Juice, Farrell, and Kittle all have 1 individual touchdown each. We just have to be very, very safe with the ball, and we got to be careful with this because this is going to be a very hard-fought game. I'm just going to tell y'all right now, I don't believe that we are winning this game. I'm giving us the L on this one. It's a short week. We are banged up. If we do come out and we win this game, I'd be surprised. I'd definitely be happy, but I'm realistic. Versus the Jags, I thought we could really pull that off. That's why I gave us the dub. But this team right now, we are beat up. We are on a short week. We do not have the rest, and it's going to be rough. Our guys are going to come out and try to battle, but I don't know, man. With the defensive line not getting the push that we need, and with us not really creating any turnovers, even though Upton Stout got robbed last week on the turnover that he did have, it's going to be a rough situation for us. We've got to make sure that we're okay and we're doing things the right way. So currently right now, when you look at us, we only have 5 sacks as a squad, and our leading sack getter is Nick Bosa and Bryce Huff. Both of them have 2. We got 24 TFLs, and we've got 13 passes defense. These are very pedestrian numbers. We got to get those numbers up. Of course, we got a couple of forced fumbles. We got 6. Of course, you already know Fred is forced 2, and then Nick Bosa had forced 2. And then, of course, Samuel, he had 1, and Bryce Huff had 1. So this game right here is going to be very simple. We're going to have to, unfortunately, feed CMC, try to make sure that we get JJ the ball. We try to get Kendrick Bourne involved. We try to get Demarcus Robinson involved, make him actually the focal point of the offense, and let JJ and Kendrick Bourne kind of be the decoys to an extent. JJ is going to still be the guy as a viable receiver. He's a big body. You can use him in the in the red zone as a red zone threat. And with Kendrick Bourne, you got to catch the ball, bro. And I think that was part of the reason that he got let go before when he was here. You can't drop those. I love Kendrick because he took full responsibility for it. But this game it's going to mean a lot. It's a divisional game. We need this win because we already beat our other opponents. And if we beat the Rams, that means we're on the tiebreaker over any and all of the opponents. It's going to throwback. So that would be a good thing for us. So if we can squeak out this win some way, somehow, that would be fantastic. But if we're going to do it, we should run the ball. And we should run the ball with both of our backs, not just Christian McCaffrey. We should be giving McCaffrey about 15 carries a game, and the other 10 to 15, we should be giving to Brian Robinson Jr. You have to spell McCaffrey properly so that way he doesn't wind up being worn out. And if you don't, you're going to wind up in a situation where at the end of the season, he ain't got nothing left in the tank. But either way, defensively, they've got a lot on their hands. I don't know if Renardo Green is going to play in this game. He didn't play in the last one. We saw Terrell Luter Jr. out there. So it could be Luter Jr. and Demo out there again on the outsides. And, of course, up the Stout in the slot. D. Winters and Fred are going to have their hands full with Tyler Higbee. And then as well, you know what I'm saying, in the slot, you tell you right now, up the Stout, it's going to be a wake-up call. Tutu Atwell is no joke. You better be ready, and you better be on him because that boy got speed. He's fast. And if he's quick twitch, if he gets out there on you, he can make up the stout, have a very long day. Um, as far as anybody else on the defense, our safeties just have to continue to perform better and continue to get better. Once again, Siegel, I give a pass to because he's a little bit of a rookie, and it's a lot for him to be out there. But right now, Jason Pinnock, I'm not really a big fan. He's not doing anything to wow me or, impress me and show that, he should have the starting job. It's nice when they bring Jair Brown in and have him play a little bit of big nickel to be able to keep things going because, Brown's a bit of a thumper. And it's nice that they found a place for him on the defense. And then in this game, we've got to, I repeat, we must stop special teams. We cannot give up any touchdowns. We cannot give up any explosive plays. If we do what we did last game, it's guaranteed to take an L. Our special teams has to be better. We cannot go out there and lay eggs like we did. We can't have Thomas Morstead running nobody down. He old. See, punters can be in the league for 20, 30, 40 years. Why? Because they just punting the ball. But you can't ask somebody as old as Thomas Morstead to try to stop a dude blazing down the field. You know he's not going to catch him. You know he doesn't know how to take the proper angle. Like, if he does take him out, it's going to be luck. Last time we did that, Mitch Wisnowski wound up with back issues, and now you can see he's not even on the team anymore. So we must be very mindful when it comes down to these things. As far as our special teams, we got to close off those lanes, not allow them to get far. And make sure, we've been very fortunate. Pistolero Pinerio has been good with making sure that the ball stays out of the end zone so that it comes into the landing zone and they have to go there. Because if you kick it through the end zone, I believe now they've moved it up to, I think, the 30 or 35, which is insane. They're giving offenses way too much leeway with, ball placement for a touchback. Used to be you start on the 20. That's where you started. Then they moved it up to the 25. And I was like, all right, it's not bad. It's just 5 yards. But then they keep moving it forward more and more and more. And I believe if you kick it all the way out the end zone, you give them the ball on the 40, which is insane. So offenses always have a lot of things working in their favor. So we just have to be smart. We got to be better about things. I just want to make sure that, we cannot. And our number one priority in this game ain't even Davante Adams. It's Puka Nacua. Him and Matthew Stafford have a fantastic connection. We can't forget about Davante. Don't get me wrong. But it's Puka Nacua that we got to stop. And I can tell you right now, if we start bracketing Nacua, we're going to have to bracket Davante as well. We're going to what we need to do is make sure that our safeties understand we need your help with these guys. Siegel and Pinnock, I need you to be watching film like nobody's business. I need you to understand what they do, don't do, how they do it, when they do it, where they do it, whatever the case may be. Because at the end of the day, we cannot continually have them doing, them going crazy on us. I don't want them running wild on us. That's going to suck. You know what I mean? So in this game, I think the game plan should be try to balance out the passing and rushing even more, along with making sure that you don't overutilize CMC. Get the ball into the hands of Demarcus Robinson, JJ, and every now and then, slide Kendrick Bourne in there. I do believe Juice will be back from his concussion, so he should be out there. And if you have Juice back from his concussion, then we should be okay. You can throw a couple of passes to him as well. Remember that Juice is a viable threat and a viable weapon. But other than that, man, just do your best to do that. And on defense, for the defensive line and for that front seven, you got to get home. You got to get home. We need to make Matthew Stafford's life a living hell. We don't want him back there being able to just look back and operate and go through each of his reads and come back and do it again. He doesn't need any time in the pocket. The more time Matthew Stafford has in the pocket, the more time he has to pick you apart. And I'm sorry, but I'll tell you this. I never played defensive back on the football level because I never played football in organized sports. But I can tell you, every DB will say, if I got to cover a receiver for more than 5 seconds, it's like an eternity. You don't want to have to keep trying to cover Puka Nacua and Davante Adams and Tutu Atwell and or Tyler Higbee, or even have Kyron Williams sneaking out the backfield. You got to remember, Sean McVay is basically a disciple of Kyle Shanahan. He runs a very similar system. He's running it differently, but it's very similar to what we do. So it's not as if we don't see the things, we don't see the motions, we don't know what's coming. We just have to be better about addressing it when it does come. And we have to know exactly what's happening. It's hard because we got a bunch of rookies playing on the defensive line in Alpha College, Michael Williams, CJ West, so we're just kind of shuffling guys in and out, trying to make sure that Kassera can put his, sprinkle his magic dust on everybody and whatnot. And yes, Sean McVay did evolve. He did evolve. Hey, newbie, what's going on, man? Yeah, you're right, man. The Rams are definitely good. Yep. All of these things are not things that not things that I am missing by any stretch of the imagination. Yes, all of these things are happening. So for us as a team, it's simply put, you're gonna have to stop the full weight of the Rams offense. They have everybody there. Everyone is healthy. They are ready to go, and they are looking to come and punch us straight in the mouth. Both of us are on short weeks, so it's going to be very, very tiring for either team. Let me see what the injury report would be for us versus the Rams, and see if we can luck out with anything extra. Let's see. So we'll take a look at the 49ers web zone. Shout out to them. They always give out good information when it comes to the practices and whatnot. So for the 49ers, Robert Beal didn't participate in practice. Juwan Jennings, ankle and rib, didn't participate. Ricky Pearsall, knee, didn't participate. Brock Purdy, toe, didn't participate. Jordan Watkins, calf. And then limited in practice was Renardo Green with the neck injury. Yetur Gross-Matos with his knee, but they've been doing this with Yetur. CJ West with his thumb, Michael Williams wrist and oblique, and then D Winters knee. So most of the time people are limited in practice, they're most likely going to play. Anybody who doesn't practice, it's either a situation where that's what they do. Hey, what's going on, Sam? It's been a minute. But basically what will happen is when you transition those dudes from not practicing to practicing, it may be sometimes a resting. With Yetur Gross-Matos, they do that all the time because they know his knee is trash. And they got to be able to try to rest him whichever way they can. So that's definitely unfortunate. The full participation was Mac Jones and Colton McKivitz. So what they're probably going to do today is just make an assessment. Hey, should we play Brock? Should we play Mac? And then they'll go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens. But see, here's the thing. The Rams allow 25 pressures by the Colts. Now, here's my thing. I'm going to double check really quick if the Colts got home, because I don't remember if Matthew Stafford was sacked last week or not. I think he was. And they are giving up some sacks. That's why I said they're averaging giving up at least 2 sacks a game. So that's a good thing for us. That means that at some point somebody's got to get home. But versus the Colts, let's see what happened. No. Yeah, he got sacked 3 times. So there you go. So if he got sacked 3 times versus the Colts, that means that we can get home too. You know what I'm saying? If Defoe got home, hell, you know what I'm saying? Somebody on our line got to get home. And special teams cannot, once again, I repeat, cannot do it. So the keys to the game are very simple. Special teams, you cannot give up any touchdowns and/or explosive plays. Do not do so. Be better. Be a lot better. Be great. Make this the game of your life, where you go out there and say, I'm not allowing it. Secondly, we are going to have to stop, once again, the full weight of the Rams offense. They have every single person healthy and ready to go. They are not missing people at all. Let me take a look at that again. Get the injury report. Because I know I had it. I just looked at it. I moved away from it for a second. But that was just us. And then for the Rams, the only people they have is Rob Havenstein, the tackle. He didn't participate in practice, and Tyler Higbee didn't participate in practice as well. Full participation, they got a guard, Steve Avila, safety, Cameron Kitchens, and tight end Colby Parkinson. So not worried about those guys. Be honest with you, I believe probably Havenstein and Higbee are just taking days off because it's a short week. I doubt that Higbee's not going to be out there. What's going on, Ty? But once again, keys to the game. Special teams, you cannot give up any plays at all. Don't give up nothing. Make this a statement game to say, hey, we are not Team Light Skin, yes sir. Make this a statement game to say we are not as bad as we look, and we are better. We are going to show you we're better. For us on offense, you're going to have to feed everybody. Spread the ball around. CMC, JJ, Demarcus Robinson, Kendrick Bourne. I believe Juice will be out there, so Juice. Feed it and spread the ball around. Don't make it a one-person event. Make it a everybody event. Get back to the old school hell where you had the two-back system when you were doing it when you first got here, Kyle. When it comes to defense, we've got to shut down at least. If we can stop Puka Nacua and we only let Devontae go off, that stops the bleeding. You know what I'm saying? If we can stop Puka Nacua and slow down Kyron Williams, that helps. We got to make sure we keep an eye on Higbee. We have to, at a bare minimum, bracket Puka Nacua. We cannot let him tear us to shreds. That Tongan is out there, and he is fighting with the full force of the island of Tonga, and he is not playing no games. Okay. His play calling, he has to change it up, man, because it becomes mundane, and it basically teams know what you're going to do, and it sucks because when they know what you're going to do, it's easy to combat it. And he doesn't change that, and that drives me insane. Like, he'll see them knowing what they're going to do, and he doesn't allow his quarterbacks to audible at the line. So you can see something different, but you're like, okay, I can check out of a play, but I'm just running this play one other way, and they already know that. And with Sean McVay and his connection, it's going to be very, very rough, man. It's going to be very rough. So hopefully we can try our best to get things going. Yeah, they gave us the 425. Newbie, I see what you're saying, man. You see what you're saying. Oh, look, I appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then I got to dress. I got to go to work after I do this, so that's why I'm already like dressed for work. So I'm like, I'm not going to change it or, do anything different. I mean, hey, if you give me a sponsor and they ask me to dress like this, I got more clothes. I'll find the sponsor, send them my way, dang it. But at the end of the day, those are the things that we need to do. We got to be able to ready to take on the full weight of the Rams offense and their defense. They are good on both sides of the ball. We just have to be ready. We got to be able to know they're a divisional opponent, understand what they do and don't do, and be able to attack them and have a game plan ready. Salah's going to have to be on his P's and Q's. Same way for Kyle. We've got to do it. So, Kyle, you got to beat their defensive coordinator. Salah, you got to beat Sean McVay. We've got to do it. Got to do it. The chain. Look, man, this chain is blessed. Okay, that's why I have that, man. It ain't got nothing to do with none of that. That's my former life. Long time ago, as Bernie Mac used to say. But thank everybody for tuning in. If you didn't get a chance to watch from the beginning, tell a friend, tell another friend. Just remember, keys to the game are very simple. You must bracket Puka Nacua. You must be ready for the full weight of the Rams offense and defense. And on our defense, we must shut down Puka Nacua. Bracket that guy. I don't care what you do. Look, I love me some Tyson. That's my girl. I love Tony. But hey, Bob Money, what's happening? But at the end of the day, the game is winnable. I just don't think we will because we're just too injured. We're too beat up. It's a very short week. I do believe, even if we do take this L, I do believe we wrap back around and we beat the Bucs because we'll have a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look, man, now you're going to have me searching for tickets to see what's going on, man. That's my girl. But at the end of the day, we should be able to come back and beat the Bucs. I don't think that that's a hard task. They've got weapons. We're going to have to stop Godwin. We're going to have to stop Ibuka. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Mike Evans is playing. I think he might be injured. But either way, focus on the Rams and see what we can do. So hope and prayer that we win, but I'm gonna give us an L right now. But thank y'all. Thank everybody for tuning in. Once again, tell a friend, tell another friend. I'm at 590. I need 10 more subscribers, people. I need 10 to get to 600. When I get to 6, I'm gonna have to get that next 100 to get to 7. And I'm gonna keep on climbing. I'm gonna keep on providing y'all great content. I'll most likely be back probably tomorrow. With a recap of just all the games of the week and whatnot. And we seen, and I'm going to keep giving y'all the shorts, letting y'all know about the smackdowns that come along because, believe me, some teams every week just get the brakes beat off of them. And I got to put it out there and let them know, man. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely it. I'm at, oh, okay, hey, look, I got 2. I need 8 more. I need 8 more people, man. If y'all get 8 more people to subscribe to your boy, I definitely will celebrate that 600 and keep on moving and keep on rising. You know, I've been talking about the whole league, not just us. And my shorts have been popping off and been running very well. So, you know, I'm going to keep bringing little clips of the game as well. I learned the algorithm and what you can and can't do. But thank y'all for tuning in. Everybody stay up, stay faithful, stay blessed, and have a wonderful day.